the day of judgment, books of God. This might be so. And the hereafter, we do feel that these things are true. Do feel. But it is our feeling. We don't have the conviction. Oh Muhammad, whatever you are saying seems to be correct. Seems to be correct. But we don't have the yaqeen, the conviction. And without that conviction, you can do nothing. One is the attestation with tongue, and the other one is the attestation of your ruh, your spirit, your heart, that this is haqq, and it has come from the same source from which my ruh has come. Then you get conviction.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We begin today's program with the Qiraat by Qari Rehan Ghalib.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اركعوا واسجدوا واعبدوا ربكم وافعلوا الخير لعلكم تفلحون. وجاهدوا في الله حق جهاده واجتباكم وما جعل عليكم في الدين من حرج ملة أبيكم إبراهيم هو اجتباكم وما جعل عليكم في الدين من حرج ملة أبيكم إبراهيم هو سماكم المسلمين من قبل وفي هذا ليكون الرسول شهيدا عليكم وتكونوا شهداء فأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة واعتصموا بالله وجاهدوا في الله حق جهاده
حرج ملة أبيكم إبراهيم وجاهدوا في الله حق جهاده هو اجتباكم وما جعل عليكم في الدين من حرج ملة أبيكم إبراهيم هو سماكم المسلمين هو سماكم المسلمين من قبل وفي هذا ليكون الرسول شهيدا عليكم وتكونوا شهداء على الناس فأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة واعتصموا بالله هو مولاكم فنعم المولى ونعم النصير من قبل وفي هذا ليكون الرسول شهيدا عليكم وتكونوا شهداء على الناس فأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة واعتصموا بالله هو مولاكم فنعم المولى ونعم النصير هو سماكم المسلمين من قبل وفي هذا ليكون الرسول شهيدا عليكم من قبل وفي هذا ليكون الرسول شهيدا عليكم وتكونوا شهداء على الناس فأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة واعتصموا بالله هو مولاكم فنعم المولى ونعم النصير صدق الله العلي العظيم.
The translation of the Qira'ah. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. And ye who believe, bow down, prostrate yourself, and adore your Lord, and do good, that ye may prosper. And strive in His cause, as you ought to strive, with sincerity and under discipline. He has chosen for you and has imposed no difficulties on you in religion. It is a cult of your father Abraham. It is He who has named you Muslims, both before and in His revelation, that the messenger may be a witness for you, and ye be witness for mankind. So establish regular prayer, give regular charity, and hold fast to Allah. He is your protector, the best to protect and the best to help. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. On behalf of the Islamic Research Foundation, it is my humble pleasure to welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Israr Ahmed, as well as our eager audience to today's public talk on the topic, Duties of a True Momin. I, Dr. Muhammad Naik, am your host and coordinator for this morning's program. Dr. Israr Ahmed is a leading scholar, orator, and a thinker on Islam in the world today. Being very eloquent in Urdu, as most of you all would be knowing, he is also very proficient in English. He was born in April 1932 in Hisar, Haryana, India. He gave up his medical practice in 1970, and since then, he has devoted himself entirely for the study and the teaching of the wisdom of the Quran. Dr. Israr Ahmed believes in a dynamic and revolutionary concept of Islam, and in this he has been greatly influenced by Allama Iqbal, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, and Maulana Abul Ala Maududi. In 1972, he founded the Markaz-e-Anjuman Khuddamul Quran to disseminate and propagate the knowledge and wisdom of the Holy Quran. In 1975, he founded the Tanzeem-e-Islami for establishing Deen through a truly revolutionary process derived from the seerah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On behalf of the Islamic Research Foundation, may I welcome and call upon our guest speaker, Dr. Israr Ahmed, to present his public talk in English on Duties of a True Momin. Dr. Israr Ahmed.
نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى كما ورد في سورة النساء يا أيها الذين آمنوا بالله ورسوله والكتاب الذي نزل على رسوله والكتاب الذي أنزل من قبل وقال جل وعلا كما ورد في سورة البقرة يا أيها الناس اعبدوا ربكم الذي خلقكم والذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون وقال عز وجل كما ورد في نفس السورة وكذلك جعلناكم أمة وسطا لتكونوا شهداء على الناس ويكون الرسول عليكم شهيدا وقال جل وعلا كما ورد في سورة الشورى شرع لكم من الدين ما وصى به نوحا والذي أوحينا إليك وما وصينا به إبراهيم وموسى وعيسى أن أقيموا الدين ولا تتفرقوا فيه صدق الله العظيم. وعن الحارث الأشعري رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إني آمركم بخمس وفي رواية الله أمرني بهن بالجماعة والسمع والطاعة والهجرة والجهاد في سبيل الله رواه الإمام أحمد والإمام الترمذي رحمهم الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم ربنا ألهمنا رشدنا وأعذنا من شرور أنفسنا. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم ربنا اجعلنا من عبادك المخلصين. اللهم وفقنا أن نكون شهداء على الناس. اللهم وفقنا أن نقيم دينك المتين. اللهم وفقنا أن نهجر كل ما تكرهه. اللهم وفقنا أن نجاهد في سبيلك بأموالنا وأنفسنا. اللهم ارزقنا شهادة في سبيلك. آمین یا رب العالمین. Dear brothers and sisters and sons and daughters in Islam, and also the brothers and sisters and sons and daughters from Adam and Eve, may Allah bless you all. As you know, the topic of my speech or presentation this morning is a comprehensive view of the duties of a Muslim. As regards the importance of this subject, a simile or an example will suffice. Imagine you employ a person and you tell the employee, these are your 10 duties, you have to perform them daily. Now, by some accident, somehow, he forgets 7 duties and remembers only 3. So, although he might be very sincere, very hardworking, but all his performance will be regarding the 3 duties that he has remembered. Regarding the rest of the 7 duties, his performance will be 0, nil. So, in the eyes of the employer, will he be a successful employee? So, in the same way, if we don't know all the duties that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put on our shoulders, and know only some of them, and we are performing them, fulfilling them with top sincerity and hard work, we are running the risk of being declared on the day of judgment as unsuccessful. Now, with this introduction of the subject, let me give you another example. You should have that in your mind. It will make my subject very easy to understand for you and very easy to explain by me. Imagine a 3-storied building. On the ground floor, there are only 4 pillars, nothing else. Today you have this, that the ground floor remains open for parking. 4 pillars are there. But we know underneath the pillars, there is the foundation. And this foundation also consists of 2 parts. The real foundation is underneath, below the ground level. It cannot be seen, it is invisible. But a part of it is above the ground level. We call it plinth. That is also a part of the foundation. Now on this foundation rests the 4 pillars. And then comes first roof. Above this first roof, the pillars are continuing, but they are not visible because walls have been constructed. But we know that the load of the other stories is being transmitted to the foundation through the same pillars. Then there is the second roof, and in the same way there is a third roof. Starting from below, the real foundation, below the ground level, invisible. Then the plinth, that is visible, part of the foundation. Then the 4 pillars, then the first roof, then the second roof, then the third roof. Now, who is a Muslim? Legally, a Muslim is one who testifies that there is no God except Allah. He is alone. Wahdahu la sharika lahu. There is none partner with him or equal to him. And then he accepts 4 pillars, 4 modes of worship. As-salah, az-zakah, as-sawm, al-hajj. He is a Muslim. Now what are the duties of this Muslim? The first duty and the foremost duty and the most important duty on which depend all the other duties, that is to have real Iman, to have the real foundation of Iman in his heart. The Iman should reach the level of personal conviction, not only a verbal attestation. No. Verbal attestation makes you a Muslim. You are not a Momin. Until the real faith, the real belief reaches a level of conviction and enters your heart. So the first duty is, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, aminu. Now these are 2 imans. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu. Who are being addressed? Who claim to be Momins, who have passed the first test of verbal attestation, testimony. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. But verbal testimony is something else and real conviction is something else. There is a world of difference between the two. Unless you have that real faith, the burning faith, the living faith, reaching the level of personal conviction, you can't build the upper structure of the building. You need a very firm foundation underneath. And just as the foundation is not visible, this real faith, this burning faith, this living faith, the faith to the level of conviction is invisible. Only the part of it, verbal attestation, is visible. Now, how to get that iman? It's a practical question. There are three ways of getting real faith. Number one, very easy. Keep the company of those who have real faith, who have conviction. Iman will flow from their hearts to yours. Just as if you are sitting in front of a furnace, heat will reach you without any effort on your part. It's the natural phenomenon. So in Surah Tawbah, Allah says, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu kunu ma'as sadiqeen. Keep the ma'iyyat, keep the company of those who are true Momins. This way, that true iman will flow as a natural phenomenon from their hearts to your hearts. But this iman will have no intellectual dimension, no understanding. You are getting the heat, but you don't know how it is coming. Only a scientist knows it. So without understanding iman, you will have blind faith, you may call it. And I am not using this word to degrade that blind faith. Blind faith is very powerful. People are ready to lay down their lives on the basis of blind faith. The second method of getting this iman is practicing of Islam. Establish the 5 prayers daily. Paying the obligatory charity, the zakah, regularly. And adding to it additional sadaqat, additional charity. And then observing fasting during the month of Ramadan. And then performing Hajj, if he is capable of doing it. This practice on this Islam, this is Islam. So practice of Islam will also result in an iman in the heart. But to have a faith with an intellectual dimension, a faith with understanding, the only source is Quran. Read it, understand it. And understand it directly, not through the interpretation of a translator or the help of some mufassir. Directly. Learn Arabic language. And let the Quran go to your heart without any hindrance. If you are reading Quran, then you are looking to the translation, and then you know there is some number 1, there is an explanation at number 1, then you go there. Well, this is interrupted process. And secondly, when you are reading a translation, you have a second-hand knowledge of Quran. It's not your first-hand knowledge. This translation can give you some contents of those ayat which you have recited with translation. But it cannot inspire you. Inspiration comes only when Quran comes and descends. According to Allama Iqbal saying, Tere zamir pe jab tak na ho nuzul-e kitab. It should directly descend on your heart. Tere zamir pe jab tak na ho nuzul-e kitab, girah kusha hai na razi na sahib-e kashaf. Neither the Tafsir-e-Kabir of Imam Razi will be helpful to you, nor the great tafsir of Imam Zamakhshari. the kashaf, that will be helpful to you. No. Read Quran directly and dive deep into the meanings of Quran, not a superficial study.